The Boys, Season 5, Episode 7, the second last episode of Season 5, and the second last episode of the show as a whole. And, God, I just finished the episode, so I'm coping with that ending. I mean, the subtitle of the episode, the title of the episode kind of gives you a hint of who's, what's going to happen. Kind of give you some hints, but you're still not ready for it. We get a little bit of information about what how everybody's coping with the whole concept now. The Homelander is now immortal. He has now got the V1. How some of the characters feel defeated, while some are like, we are not. It's not defeated. We are just having an extra challenge. We have an extra bump in the road, and the plan is, because Miriko has healing powers, that let's give Miriko, because we got all the documents. We got all the documents here to give Miriko give her the Soldier Boy chest powered the power thing. So it's a science experiments. Science experiments. Of Miriko. That's what Frenchie and Sage are doing. Then you got the other half of the episode, which is all surrounding the screenings of the Billy and Huey on one side, Mother's Milk and Mother's Milk and Annie on another team, and they're just doing some investigating. They're figuring out what's Homer's plan. What his main plan is. We need to understand what his whole plan is, and how he's trying to convince everyone that he, is God now. Because, like example, there's a screening room of a commercial. A shit commercial, by the way. Mother's Milk, break it down. It's like that's a bad commercial. That's trying to convince people that Homelander's the second coming. Like what? That's like it's break it down. It's a bad commercial, even with the ads VFX later, which is kind of how most test screens actually look like, because half of the VFX are not done. So probably that's what you get. You get like, add this, remove the wires, add a bird, VFX bird across the screen. That's what you get. So I'm just coping. I feel like I'm grieving. Over a fictional character. Should I just say, fuck it, this happened? I mean, but you know what? We have to save it to the end, right? We have to save it to the end. We got some, probably maybe the final of the boys' craziness. I know we got Volt Rising, but like the boys specifically, of the boys' craziness of like, here's the cat lady, and she has cat powers. And you know what cats do? They go and lick their own butthole. So you literally have her going, legs in the air, head down in her butt, so she's just licking her butthole. And then you get like the guy who's like a hound sniffing his butt, saying, sniffing her butt, saying, you had cream cheese and buttermilk and like whatever the fuck her poops have. I was like, what in the world are we going on here? What is, like, I know we're the boys, and once again, we're nearly at the end. We got 1 hour left of the show, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. But it's it's like still you can't wipe your head over the craziness that happens. Couldn't help but laugh that the moment this cat lady gets some water on her, she jumps up like a cat. I couldn't help but laugh over that. Yeah, you got a neat action sequence. We got some Gen V stuff, so all those people are like, where's the Gen V characters? Where's the Gen V? We haven't seen Gen V. Where's the Gen V characters? And they show up in the, they show up in the second last episode. Basically you're there because the narrative is needed. It's not just, the Gen V people are now here, so they'll team up and all that. It's not that situation there. Yeah, I mean, the thing about this episode, because you just have the ending, and I'm trying to process the ending, I feel a sourpuss right now. I feel like I'm... Fuck it, let's just talk about the ending, right? We'll talk about the ending and then see you next week for the final episode, right? Because right now, I feel like... with that ending. But it's an emotional ending. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Homelander kills Frenchie. Right? And I get it, the title of the episode gives you a hint. That Mother's Milk, the Frenchman, and one of the women characters are going to bite it. It is the second last episode. You want us to have a big emotional punch. Yay! But, and you get that emotional punch. And they were teasing all of us. Having those 3 characters have long speeches about them, having lives and having big ass monologues, and you're thinking, no, they are going to die. No, Mother's Milk's going to die. No, Mirko might die. But in reality, Frenchie's the one that goes. And Frenchie, goes out like a boss, tells Homelander, flips the bird at Homelander, goes and tells him to suck his hairy balls. He goes out like the character. And we don't see what Homelander did. I mean, clearly, I assume it's like, oh, you're talking about your nuts, I'll yank your testicles out. So that's probably, having bleed out. That's probably what he did. With that bloody evil grin fuckery. And you're like... And you had that fucking jump scare. Did anyone get a jump scare? We had our first ever jump scare of the damn show. And it was the second last episode. I don't know. But what really killed me was the final 2 minutes. When you have Mirko and Frenchie saying their goodbyes. She's going, oh, why did you do it? Why did you did it? What's wrong with you? Why? She's sobbing, and Frenchie's like saying all this romantic stuff and how he did it for her, and she, he loves her, and loved her the first time he got her, spotted eyes with her, and I was like, the tears were rolling down my face. Homelander needs to go. I know we say that, but we have been saying that for 5 seasons. And he is going to go next week, so yay. But that this character, this see you next Tuesday character, can't go full Billy Butcher. Can't say that word. Even though it is the boys, but it's YouTube. We're giving us an emotional lead to the final towards the final episode. So the final episode is gonna be huge. If you want a battle, that's what the final episode is probably gonna be. It's gonna be a big ass worthy battle. Now of course the deep stuff, which kind of he's out of 7. He is not allowed to be near the sea. Water is out of bounds for him because all the stuff that happened last week, and I think he it's just ripping the identity of the Deep. He's nothing. All the things that are finding him is not there anymore. So what can he do? Is he just runs away? A person's drowning, and he just lets that guy's drown, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So you got that. But back to Frenchie, Homeland's. I know it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm waiting for that evil Superman whip off son of a bitch to just bite it. I really hope it's a slow, painful death. I hope it's like worth it. It's not just head crush. Hopefully there's more to it. Yeah. IMP Frenchie. But I guess you know what? I think next week is gonna be more bloodshed. Billy's gonna buy it. I think Billy's gonna buy it. Homelander clearly is gonna buy it. But everyone else could. Mother's Milk could buy it. Annie might buy it. Huey, I think Huey's the only one who's safe. But and Mirko might. Soulja Boy is back in the frozen tube, but you never know. Maybe he sacrifices himself. Maybe we know, because it is kind of interesting. Like the end of Soulja Boy is just him back in the tube. Okay, but yeah, because this is a situation where Homelander can't just be depowered. We want. Yeah. He gets depowered and he gets murdered and then he gets killed. That's what's gonna happen probably. But yeah. A bit of a slow talk this week. I'm not going this happened, this happened just because of those final few minutes. But yeah. Comment below, let me know your thoughts of this episode.